In Naruto Reborn with a chat group chapter 21-40. Could it be that his decision to divide the tailed beasts had truly been a mistake? Even his own younger brother believed he had done something wrong. Now, even his closest friend, Uchiha Madara, thought so. Had he really made the wrong choice? Everything he had done was meant to bring peace to the ninja world. Wasn't his decision to distribute the tailed beasts made with the hope that wars would cease? At this moment, Senju Hashirama found himself drowning in self-doubt. Although he kept telling himself that he had done nothing wrong, a seed of guilt had already taken root in his heart. Senju Tobirama. Those damn bastards. They came under the guise of forming an alliance, only to try and steal Konoha's people. How utterly shameless. Namikaze Minato. I fought the fourth Raikage before, so I have some understanding of him. He's definitely an ambitious man. It's not surprising that he would attempt something like this. Makoto Ito. Second Hokage, why are you getting so worked up? Besides, didn't they fail in the end? Senju Tobirama. Why am I getting worked up? Do you even need to ask? Damn it. These people from the land of lightning dared to act so brazenly in Konoha. Do you honestly think I can just stay calm? Ito Makoto. I mean, maybe don't get so angry just yet. If you keep this up, you might just end up dying again from rage in a while. Senju Tobirama. What do you mean? What do you mean I'll die from anger soon? Are you saying something even more infuriating happened? Tobirama felt the veins in his temples throbbing violently. He was absolutely furious. The fact that the people from the land of lightning had dared to infiltrate Konoha under the pretense of forming an alliance, all while attempting to kidnap Konoha's people, was already enough to enrage him. But was there more to the story? It was only then that Tobirama noticed something. They had been discussing the death of Hyuga Hisashi. However, Hyuga Hinata was still alive, which meant the Cloud Shinobi's plan had ultimately failed. So then, how did Hisashi die? Senju Tobirama. Hisashi. You stopped halfway through your explanation. Keep talking. How exactly did you die? You said you died protecting your brother, but were you actually trying to protect your niece? Were you killed by those Cloud Shinobi? If that's the case, then you're truly pathetic. The brother of the Hyuga clan's leader, beaten to death by trashes, unbelievable. What exactly happened? Explain it to me properly and clearly. Hyuga Hisashi. No, I wasn't beaten to death by those Cloud Shinobis. In fact, it was my elder brother who killed them. Senju Tobirama. Your elder brother killed the Cloud Shinobi? Well, that's good. Did the Land of Lightning offer any explanation? More importantly, the evidence was there, wasn't it? Konoha must have demanded compensation from Cloud Shinobi Village, right? Hyuga Hisashi. Well, that's not exactly what happened. Makoto Ito. Ha. Explanation? Compensation? Senju Tobirama. What's wrong, boy? Is there something wrong with what I said? If the stolen goods were found in their hands, shouldn't they be the ones compensating us? Makoto Ito. Oh, I agree, there was an explanation, and compensation too. Senju Tobirama. HMPH. I knew it. If that monkey couldn't even handle something this simple, he'd be better off eating bananas. Cloud Shinobi Village dared to walk all over Konoha? We should have crushed their arrogance immediately. Uchiha Fugaku. Haha. Everyone always says the second Hokage is both wise and brave, that his intelligence is unmatched. But right now, he just looks like a fool. Senju Tobirama. What the hell did you just say? You damn Uchiha. What part of my logic is flawed? Uchiha Fugaku. Oh, you'll KNY soon enough. If you think you're right, then let Hisashi continue speaking. Senju Tobirama. Hisashi. Keep talking, Hyuga Hisashi. Although the Cloud Shinobi's attempt was exposed and my elder brother personally killed the one who tried to kidnap Hinata, Cloud Shinobi Village denied everything. Not only that, they twisted the story completely. They claimed that our Hyuga clan had murdered their people, who had supposedly come in peace to form an alliance. Senju Tobirama. What? Damn it. These people from Cloud Shinobi Village. They're truly shameless. Do they have no sense of honor at all? Uchiha Madara. Out of all the shameless acts I've seen, this one takes the crown. Senju Hashirama. This is absolutely disgraceful. Uchiha Izuna. Keep going. What happened next? Hyuga Hizashi. After that, Cloud Shinobi Village demanded an explanation from Konoha. They even began pressuring the R village's borders, demanding compensation. Senju Tobarama. What the fuck? Did you just say that instead of Konoha pressuring them for compensation, they pressured Konoha? Instead of us making them answer for their actions, we had to compensate them? Ha ha ha. Fantastic. Mind-blowing. Tell me more. I must hear what kind of compensation these Cloud Shinobi demanded. Hyuga Hizashi. They insisted that Konoha hand over the murderer. That is, my elder brother, the leader of the Hyuga clan. Senju Tobarama. Namikaze Minato. How dare they demand that? Senju Hashirama. That's so absurd. There's no way Konoha would ever agree to betray one of its own. Impossible, completely impossible. Senju Tobarama. Wait, didn't you say you died for your elder brother? Don't tell me, don't you dare tell me, that Konoha actually agreed to Cloud Shinobi Village's demands? Hyuga Hizashi. Sigh, at the time, there was truly no other option, after all. Senju Tobarama. Shut up. I don't want excuses. Just tell me, yes or no. Did Konoha really hand you over to Cloud Shinobi Village? At that moment, Senju Tobarama felt like his lungs were about to explode. Never in his life had he been this furious. Cloud Shinobi had already defiled Konoha's dignity once. And now, Konoha had not only let them get away with it, but had willingly sacrificed one of their own? It was as if Cloud Shinobi had taken a dump on Konoha's face and then pissed on it as though they were cleaning the shit. Hyuga Hizashi. Yes, Senju Tobarama. Arg. I'm so pissed off, Hiruzen. How could you be so foolish? You let them walk all over you. Right up to your own doorstep, and they were practically shitting on your head, and you still thanked them for it? Why the hell did I choose him as a Hokage? Sarutobi, you disgusting monkey. Among all the Hokages of Konoha, Senju Tobarama was undoubtedly the most cunning and ruthless. Unlike his indecisive elder brother, he never hesitated in his approach. Whether dealing with internal matters or foreign threats, his policies were always crushing. If Cloud Village dared to provoke their village like this, his response would be simple. Crush them thoroughly. He would have gone to war without a second thought, just to see if those Cloud Village ninjas still dared to act so unruly in Hidden Leaf Village. Senju Hashirama. How could this happen? Senju Tobarama. Hiruzen, you bastard, I trained you, I trusted you, and I personally chose you as Hokage. Is this how you repaid me? Hyuga Hizashi. Second Hokage. Please calm down. Lord Third Hokage didn't want to do this, but back then. Senju Tobarama. You're actually defending him? Are you fucking stupid? No matter how many excuses you make, no matter how necessary it was, nothing justifies what he did. Nothing. Hyuga Hizashi. But, Lord Second, look at how prosperous our village is today. That compromise allowed the village to develop into what it is now. If we hadn't made that decision back then, the village might not be as strong as it is today. Senju Tobarama. Bullshit. What's the point of this so-called prosperity, if it was built on cowardice and surrender? If this is what prosperity means, then I would rather we never had it in the first place. Uchiha Fugaku. Oh dear, Second Hokage, don't be so harsh. As we already know, your disciple is very skilled at brainwashing. Senju Tobarama. What did you just say, Uchiha Fugaku? Just look at Hyuga Hizashi. They sold him out, and yet here he is, still defending them. They threw him away like an undersized sandals, yet he still speaks as if it was the right thing to do. His dignity was stripped away, but he still thinks he made a noble sacrifice. Now tell me, Second Hokage, isn't your disciple terrifying? Uchiha Madara. Sarutobi's brainwashing skills really are something else. Even I have to admit it. When it comes to brainwashing, he's probably the strongest of us all. Fugaku never wasted an opportunity to criticize the village's leadership. Whenever he got the chance, he would attack them mercilessly, and he wasn't even wrong. His words were undeniably true. To make matters worse, Fugaku despised the Hyuga clan. The Hyuga were supposed to be among Konoha's great clans. Yet the Hyuga were obedient lapdogs to the village, bowing their heads instead of standing tall. They were an embarrassment to him. A so-called great clan that willingly let themselves be used and discarded. They were a fucking joke. Hyuga Hizashi. Fugaku, you have the nerve to talk? If it weren't for the Uchiha clan always stirring up trouble, always scheming for power, always trying to seize control, would we have needed to compromise with Cloud Village back then? Uchiha Fugaku. And why do you think we wanted power in the first place? The village's top brass was suppressing us from the start. If we hadn't been constantly pushed down, we wouldn't have needed to resist. Hyuga Hizashi. Ha! You make it sound so noble. You led to your clan to its demise. Uchiha Fugaku. Fuck that. The Uchiha clan is different from your Hyuga clan. We valued our pride. We don't wag our tails and act like obedient dogs, unlike you. A fool who got sold out and still thanked them for it. Hyuga Hizashi. You, Hizashi realized he couldn't win against Fugaku in a war of words. Back when he was alive, Fugaku never talked this much. Why did he become so damn talkative after death? Had he been holding in all this resentment while stuck in the Pure Land, just waiting for someone to argue with? His mouth was running like it had a motor installed, rattling off insults non-stop. Hyuga Hizashi. HMPH, I won't waste my breath on you. Uchiha Fugaku. What's there to waste? You are already fucking dead, dumbass. Hyuga Hizashi. Fugaku. Senju Tobarama. Enough, both of you, shut up. In this case, the Uchiha clan is not to blame. Sigh, if we're pointing fingers, then they blame me for putting my trust in the wrong person. I was wrong to believe in Hiruzen. If I had known he would turn out like this, I would have given the Hokage position to Danzo instead. Senju Hashirama. Tobarama, don't be so hard on yourself. This isn't your fault. Senju Tobarama. No, brother. This is my fault. How could I have raised and entrusted the village to someone with 0 brain cells? I spent my whole life building my reputation, maintaining my pride, and today, it's all gone. If I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have given the position to Sarutobi Hiruzen. If I had chosen Shimura Danzo, Utatane Kaharu, or Mitokado Homura, at least this wouldn't have happened. Makoto Ito. Hate to break it to you, but you're in for another disappointment, because those 3 also agreed to this decision. Senju Tobarama. Hyuga Hizashi. But, second Hokage, it's the correct decision. Senju Tobarama. Just kill me at this point. At this moment, Tobarama felt like his entire world had collapsed. What kind of people did I train back then? He had carefully selected and trained his students, pouring years of his life into molding them into strong leaders. And what had come of it? A group of weak-willed cowards who sell out their own people in the name of peace. Hyuga Hizashi. Second Hokage. Please don't blame yourself. After all, the third Hokage only did what he thought was best for Konoha. At the very least, the village has prospered under his rule, hasn't it? Namikaze Minato. That's right. If we look at the results, our village has flourished under third Hokage's leadership. His decisions might not align with your ideals, but there's no denying that he is an excellent Hokage. After listening to their words for a long time, Tobarama finally calmed down. Senju Tobarama. Fine, fine, enough of this. I will try to see some of his good points. The conversation continued for a long while, with everyone finally uncovering the full story behind Hyuga Hizashi's death. Meanwhile, in the real world, Makoto stood in the playground with his classmates. He looked across the vast field. From the youngest students to the senior classes, hundreds of students had gathered for the brainwashing session. No, the Will of Fire preaching session. As the students finally gathered on the playground, Sarutobi Hiruzen took his place at the podium. He began to address the students, explaining the essence of the Will of Fire. In other words, the brainwashing had begun. It was clear that his methods of persuasion were nothing short of impressive. His words flowed smoothly, speaking of the fire that would continue to shine and nourish the village, making new leaves sprout, symbolizing the growth of the village. Even Makoto found himself momentarily captivated by his speech. Uchiha Fugaku. Tisk, tisk. Just listen to this, the words keep coming, one after another. Uchiha Madara. This guy sure has some skills, he doesn't even need genjutsu. Senju Tobarama. Could it be that the lid monkey used these speeches to make the village thrive? Uchiha Izuna. That's talent for you, damn it, Uchiha Madara. If I had spoken like that, I'm sure the Uchiha clan would have rebelled with me. Namikaze Minato. It's been a while since I heard 3rd Hokage talk about the village's purpose. It still sounds so heartfelt. Uchiha Shisui. Yes, it feels like my whole body is at ease when I hear him. Uchiha Izuna. Here come 2 more brainwashed idiots. Uchiha Fugaku. Sigh. If we had known this, I would have led the Uchiha clan to brainwash people. After all, we even had Sharingan. Senju Hashirama. Makoto, are all the students from the ninja school present? Makoto paused for a moment upon reading Hashirama's message. After all, he had been waiting for this moment. He then pretended to casually look around and saw that all the students seemed to have arrived. Ito Makoto. Yes, all the students are here. Why are you asking? Senju Hashirama. Something's wrong, can't you tell? Senju Tobarama. What's wrong, brother? Ito Makoto. Everything seems fine though. All the students are here. Senju Hashirama. If this is truly a ninja school, then all the students should be here. But where are the Senju clan members? Why is there not a single one on the playground? Senju Tobarama. What? Upon seeing his older brother's message, Tobarama quickly scanned the area. To his shock, there were indeed no members of the Senju clan present. There had been no Senju students in Makoto's class earlier either. When Hashirama had raised the concern earlier, he was already suspicious. Now, his suspicions only grew. He looked around once again and found that there was not a single Senju clan member on the playground. Senju Tobarama. What the hell is going on? Senju Hashirama. Shouldn't all the students of the Senju clan be here? This doesn't seem right. Senju Tobarama. Brother, after I founded the ninja school, I made it clear to everyone in the clan. All of our clansmen must attend the ninja school when they reach the proper age. Makoto smirked internally. The long-awaited truth was finally about to be revealed and the drama he had been waiting for was finally coming to the surface. Uchiha Fugaku. Oh, so the truth is finally coming out. Do you know how hard I've been holding back? Senju Tobarama. Shut up, you evil Uchiha. Senju Hashirama. Judging by what the genius patriarch said, it seems like there's some story behind this. Makoto, can you explain what's going on? Makoto Ito. Oh, this is actually very simple. The Senju clan. Well, it's been wiped out even before the Uchiha clan. As soon as Makoto sent the message, both Hashirama and Tobarama, who were in the Pure Land, stared wide-eyed in disbelief. Senju Hashirama. What? What did you say, Senju Tobarama? How is this possible? The 2 brothers were utterly shocked. The Senju clan had been one of the most formidable forces in the ninja world and it had been the cornerstone of Konoha's founding. The idea that it could be destroyed so suddenly seemed unfathomable. The Senju clan had even suppressed the mighty Uchiha clan for years. How could they have fallen? Uchiha Fugaku. But that's the truth, Senju Tobarama. Makoto, tell me clearly. How did the Senju clan fall? I felt from the previous conversation that you know a lot about this. You should be well aware of this matter, right? Makoto Ito. Yes, I do know about it. Let me explain, it's a long story. Senju Tobarama. Then keep your explanation even longer. Makoto's lips twitched speechlessly after seeing the Tobarama's message. Makoto Ito. Sigh. Things changed when 3rd Hokage who wasn't from the Senju clan came into power. Many members of the great clans saw him as an eyesore and some members of the Senju clan didn't even acknowledge him. The room went silent as the pieces began to fall into place. Makoto Ito. So what did the 3rd Hokage do? He thought about it for a long time and finally came up with a solution. He didn't directly oppose the great clan's power. He first started by encouraging the Senju clan to marry into civilian families. It was successful since you and 1st Hokage encouraged your clan members to marry into civilian families in the past. Tobarama's eyes widened as the truth began to dawn on him. Senju Tobarama. Wait. Are you suggesting that the Hiruzen intentionally spread the Senju clan's power through marriage? Makoto Ito. No, this is what he said. By marrying civilians, more members of the Senju clan would be born, thereby indirectly expanding the clan's influence. In the Pure Land, Tobirama had a devastated expression after learning the truth. Arghhh. Hiruzen, how dare you? What nonsense about expanding influence. Tobirama was once a cunning politician with a sharp mind. He could easily see through Hiruzen's thoughts. It was clear as day for him. Hiruzen should have felt threatened by the Senju clan's overwhelming power and influence, which endangered his rule over the village. That was why he encouraged the Senju clan to intermarry with commoners, deliberately diluting their bloodline. If that continued, within just a few generations, the Senju clan would be nothing more than a memory. Any talk of expanding the influence and power of the Senju clan was utter nonsense. The ninja world revolved around bloodlines. If a family's bloodline was diluted to the point of impurity, then its decline was inevitable. The Uchiha clan stood strong for generations because they upheld strict intermarriage policies within their own ranks, preventing their blood from being diluted. That was the key to maintaining the strength and purity of their lineage. The Senju clan, though not as rigid as the Uchiha, could not withstand such continued dilution. Given enough time, they would vanish entirely. If only a small portion of the clan intermarried with commoners, it wouldn't have been an issue. But if the entire clan followed this practice, how was that any different from completely dissolving the Senju name? Senju Tobirama. Makoto. This is just one of the reasons behind my clan's demise, right? Makoto Ito. Of course. The other reasons are even simpler. Wasn't Senju clan known as the strongest clan? The pillar of Konoha? If that was the case, then let them handle all the dirty work on the battlefield. If members of the Senju clan died on the battlefield, why should Hiruzen be held accountable? After all, they were just expendable soldiers, weren't they? A mission here, a battle there, one by one. The Senju clan would be thinned out. Who would question it? And most importantly, when they died, Hiruzen stood before the village, shedding crocodile tears, mourning their sacrifice, pretending to be a benevolent leader. He would express his gratitude for their service, honor their deaths, and declare how they had given their lives for the village. In the end, though, he wouldn't truly care. Senju Tobirama. Ah, Sarutobi, you deserve to die. At this moment, Tobirama was seething with fury. His clan was gone, his family was wiped out, and the one responsible for this was none other than his very own disciple. Hiruzen, who he had personally trained, the student in whom he had placed his highest hopes, had orchestrated the downfall of his clan. Tobirama easily saw through these schemes because he had once used them himself. Now, his own student used them against his clan. Senju Tobirama. Damn it, was the Senju clan's leader at the time an idiot? Was he brainless? Did he really just follow every command that monkey bastard gave him without question? Uchiha Fugaku. Oh my. Look at what you are saying. How can the interests of one clan override the interests of the village? As a citizen of Hidden Leaf Village, one must obey the Hokage's orders. Otherwise, they would be labeled a traitor, right? Uchiha Shisui. That's right. The interests of a clan should never come before the interests of the village. I think Lord Third made the right choice. Uchiha Fugaku. Shut up, you spying bastard, Senju Tobirama. You're all talking nonsense. The Senju clan has contributed so much to the village. The village wouldn't even exist today without us. Makoto Ito. Actually, the Senju clan's leader at the time did make an effort to preserve their bloodline. He ensured that the purest lineage of the Senju clan survived, the descendants of the first Hokage. Senju Tobirama. What did you say? My eldest brother's descendants? There are still members of the Senju clan alive? Where are they now? Tobirama's voice carried a glimmer of hope. Uchiha Fugaku. Well, interestingly enough, that last surviving member was none other than the grandson of the first Hokage himself. Senju Tobirama. Then where is he now? Hearing that his brother's grandson was still alive, Tobirama felt a small sense of relief. It was a tragic situation, but at least his clan had not been completely wiped out. Uchiha Fugaku. Where is he? The Pure Land, of course. He might even be living next door. Senju Tobirama. What? Didn't he just say that the Senju clan left behind their purest bloodline? How could he be in the Pure Land? Uchiha Fugaku. Oh, I forgot to mention. That child was sent to the battlefield during the Second Ninja War by your apprentice. Do you know what happened to him? His intestines were blown out. He died a gruesome death. Fugaku deliberately left Tsunade out of the conversation, aiming to provoke Tobarama even further and make him more angry. Senju Tobarama. Sarutobi, fuck you bastard, how dare you do this to me? Rage consumed Tobarama. After all, he had raised Hiruzen, mentored him, placed him on the path to becoming Hokage. How did Hiruzen repay him? He led his clan to demise. When faced with external threats like the Cloud Shinobi, Hiruzen bowed his head and acted with submission. But when it came to his own people, he struck them down without mercy. In the outside world, Sarutobi Hiruzen stood on a podium and proudly preached the so-called Wall of Fire to the students without knowing. His teacher was itching to kill him at this very moment. Senju Tobarama. That bastard. So the Senju clan is truly gone? Uchiha Fugaku. Oh, second Hokage, do you remember what you once said about our clan? Without the Uchiha clan, the village will only be more stable. Senju Tobarama. Wait. Don't speak. Uchiha Fugaku. Hehe, now let me return those words to you. Without the Senju clan, Konoha will only be more stable. Muhaha. Senju Tobarama. Fugaku. Moments ago, he had mocked the Uchiha clan's demise. Now, the very same words had come back to haunt him. At least the Uchiha had survivors with pure blood. But the Senju clan was completely gone. At this moment, Makoto could barely suppress his smile upon seeing the furious Tobarama. After all the waiting, he finally arrived at the moment he had been anticipating. It was his time to shine. Senju Hashirama. Forget it, Tobarama. At least Makoto said something worth hearing. We, the Senju clan, have integrated with the common people. Anyways, the ninja world is one big family. Hearing Hashirama's words, Makoto was left dumbfounded. Damn it, are there really people like this in the ninja world? Should he praise Hashirama for being broad-minded or criticize him for being too naive? Senju Tobarama. What? Brother, how could you say something like that? Our Senju clan is gone. Our family is gone. Uchiha Madara. Let's just call it what it is. He's being a fool. You think he's going to listen? He won't? Senju Hashirama. By the way, Makoto, do you know Tsunade? Could it be that even she? Namikaze Minato. Tsunade-sama was taken in as a disciple by the third Hokage. She later became a legendary figure in the ninja world. But after the death of her younger brother and lover, she fell into despair and left the village. Senju Tobarama. Wait, you mean Tsunade is still alive? Makoto Ito. Yes, she's still alive, but her faith in life has been shattered. She suffers from hemophobia and spends most of her time gambling and drinking. She hasn't returned to Konoha in years. Senju Tobarama. Sigh, when she was a child, she was so full of life and energy. Senju Hashirama. It's really tragic for her, but at least she's still alive. Senju Tobarama. Such a shame. If Tsunade was a man, she could revive our clan. On the podium, the third Hokage continued to speak about the Will of Fire, his speech full of empty rhetoric. Tobarama's anger only grew as he listened. Why did I ever choose him as Hokage? It would have been better to let Danzo take the position. Senju Tobarama. Why was I so blind back then to choose such a weakling? If I had the chance, I'd shove 2 large pieces of bananas in his ass. Makoto, can you temporarily let me out of this chat group? I need to go up there and slap him in the face. Makoto Ito. It's impossible to let you out, but you can hand over all your abilities to me. I'll go up for you and give him a few good slaps myself. After seeing his message, everyone was stunned and speechless. Even in moments like this, Makoto was always looking for ways to take advantage of them. Senju Tobarama. You've got to be kidding, you want all my abilities just to slap him twice? Makoto Ito. You said yourself that you're dead, and all your skills will be buried with you. So, why not pass them on to me? Senju Tobarama. Enough. I've already had a few worthless disciples. All of them turned out to be absolute failures and you're no better than them. Makoto rolled his eyes as he knew it wouldn't be so easy to extract any favors from the old man. But after a moment of thought, he tried again. Makoto Ito. First, second, don't you want to revive the Senju clan? Senju Tobarama. What good is wishing? Our Senju clan has no more men left, how could we revive it? Makoto Ito. Ahem. Aren't I here? I'm the destined one who would revitalize the Senju clan. It is my glorious purpose. Senju Tobarama. You? Do you really have a connection to our Senju clan? Makoto Ito. Of course. I heard my mother's sister's second aunt's brother-in-law's brother's uncle's second uncle's sister's brother-in-law's fourth uncle's brother's eldest nephew married a woman who is a descendant of the Senju clan. Makoto spoke seriously but his words left everyone in the chat completely speechless. Senju Tobarama. Could you please explain again the relationship you just mentioned? Makoto Ito. Ahem, anyways, that's not important. What matters is that I am indeed connected to the Senju clan. Senju Tobarama. What's the point of that? Makoto Ito. What do you mean? It shows that I have a deep connection with the Senju clan. That means I can also revitalize the Senju clan. Senju Tobarama. But you don't even have the blood of the Senju clan, so how could you revive it? Makoto Ito. I don't have the bloodline, but don't you too have it? Senju Tobarama. Huh? So, you're still trying to get something out of us, huh? Makoto Ito. No, this isn't about reaping benefits anymore. This is about a mutually beneficial deal. Come help me grow stronger and I will help you rebuild the Senju clan. It's something that benefits us all, don't you agree? Senju Hashirama. Is this really possible? Makoto Ito. Of course, and from now on, I can even change my last name to Senju without any problem. From now on, I'll be Senju Makoto. Makoto Ito. Makoto Ito. One more thing. Tsunade is still alive. If I marry her, then any children we have will naturally carry the purest Senju bloodline. Senju Hashirama. Senju Tobarama. Hyuga Hazashi. Namikaze Minato. Senju Tobarama. Brad, what are you even saying? What's the age difference between you and Tsunade? Despite his words, Tobarama was actually beginning to seriously consider what Makoto had said. What Makoto had said was true. If he married Tsunade, their child would inherit the purest bloodline of the Senju clan. Even without marrying his granddaughter, Makoto can inherit their bloodline through the chat group and revive the Senju clan. Senju Tobarama. Actually, now that I think about it, there's nothing wrong with what Makoto said. Originally, the Senju clan was destroyed, and there was no hope of revival. But now there's a variable named Makoto. The important part is that he could inherit our bloodline through the chat group. As for Tsunade's matter, it's not something within our control. Senju Hashirama. This doesn't seem like such a bad idea. Welcome to Fanfic Audiobook, your go-to place for immersive audiobooks. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. At this moment, Madara saw things were going in the wrong direction and quickly intervened to stop the Senju brothers. Uchiha Madara. Tobarama, Hashirama. Have you guys lost your mind? You're willing to go to such lengths just to revive the Senju clan? In truth, Madara had no interest in whether the Senju clan was revived or not. What truly concerned him was the possibility that if both Hashirama and Tobarama fully supported Makoto, it could interfere with his own plans. What troubled him even more was that Makoto seemed to possess knowledge about the group members, including him. In fact, Makoto appeared to have insight into events across the ninja world, which meant that he might even be aware of Madara's plans. If the two Senju brothers threw their full support behind him, Makoto became an obstacle in his plans. Senju Tobarama. Madara. You must not want to see the Senju clan rise again. Well, I refuse to let things go your way. Whatever you don't want me to do, I will do it. Whatever you seek to prevent, I will ensure it happens. Ha ha ha. I was still hesitant at first, but thanks to you, I've made up my mind. We must support Makoto. Just a moment ago, Makoto was growing increasingly anxious. When he managed to sway the Senju brothers to his side, Madara suddenly interjected a crucial moment to stop them. To his surprise, Madara's words pushed Tobirama further into the idea of supporting him. Uchiha Madara. You. Even Madara himself was speechless. He hoped to stop the Senju brothers from backing Makoto, but his words only backfired, and now, it was a done deal. Damn you, Tobirama. Seeing things turning in his favor, Makoto was excited as he was slowly getting closer and closer to acquiring wood style, and he silently thanked Madara for his assistance. Senju Tobirama. Brother, perhaps we should truly consider this. Regardless of whether everything Makoto said is true, or whether he even has any direct connection to the Senju clan, the second point he made is undeniable. If he possesses both of our bloodlines, and if he were to have a child in the future, wouldn't that child possess the Senju bloodline of high purity? This might be our clan's best chance, we shouldn't let it slip away. Senju Hashirama. Tobirama, when it comes to matters like these, your judgment has always been better than mine. If you think it's worth trying, then let's do it. Besides, Makoto is from our village. Even if we support him, we aren't really helping an outsider. While Hashirama had long accepted the decline of the Senju clan, now that an opportunity to restore his clan had presented itself, he saw no reason not to pursue it. Senju Hashirama has gifted the Senju bloodline to group leader Makoto Ito. A system notification appeared in the chat group, and Makoto could hardly contain his excitement. Damn, it's really the Senju bloodline. First Hokage, you're incredible. Without hesitation, he clicked accept at lightning speed. The moment he did, an unfamiliar yet powerful energy surged through his body. Was this the power of the Senju bloodline? Makoto could feel his body's cells screaming in excitement. Even his chakra had become far more lethal, growing at an exponential rate. A transformation was taking place, one that reshaped him at a fundamental level. The bloodline of the Senju clan was well known for enhancing one's life force, but this wasn't just any Senju blood. It was the blood of Hashirama himself, the purest lineage of the clan. Senju Hashirama has gifted wood style to group leader Makoto Ito. Senju Hashirama has gifted the beginner-level sage art to group leader Makoto Ito. Upon seeing these notifications, Makoto's eyes widened in disbelief. He had expected to gain the Senju bloodline, but Hashirama had given him far more than that: wood style and even sage art. Though his chakra reserves were nowhere near Hashirama's level yet, and he couldn't unleash the same world-shattering techniques, this was still an incredible starting point. With a strong foundation like this, the future held endless possibilities. Without wasting a second, Makoto Ito accepted both gifts. He took a deep breath, trying to control his excitement. The sensation felt unreal. He had received the Senju bloodline. He had obtained wood style. He had gained a sage body. It was almost too good to believe. Even though simply acquiring wood style didn't mean he could immediately unleash techniques on the scale of Hashirama's, the foundation was now firmly in place. With time and training, nothing was impossible. Currently, Makoto couldn't stop grinning. Senju Tobirama. Alright, stop grinning like an idiot. Have some dignity as the group leader. Makoto Ito. Ahem. Can you guys blame me? This is just too exciting. Uchiha Madara. Fools. Both of you are fools. You're actually entrusting the revival of the Senju clan to an outsider. Madara was utterly speechless. If the Senju brothers continued down this path, they might end up creating someone even more terrifying than Hashirama. At that point, what would be the point of his own resurrection then? Just to get beaten up by a kid? Makoto Ito. Madara, don't feel so bitter. If you want, I can also help revitalize the Uchiha clan too. All you have to do is offer me a Sharingan. Of course, the only problem is, there aren't any women left in the Uchiha clan. Senju Hashirama. Wait a damn minute, brat. You just promised us to restore our clan, and now you're offering to restore the Uchiha clan too? Senju Tobirama. Do you have no shame? Makoto Ito. Why are you two so worked up? I never said I wouldn't help rebuild the Uchiha clan. More importantly, I'm still a student, aren't I? Do you really expect me to walk up to some lady and say, marry me and let's rebuild the Senju clan together? She'd probably look at me like I am some delusional kid. Senju Hashirama. That does make sense. Senju Tobarama. Surprisingly, it does. Makoto Ito. So what do you say, Madara? I can help restore the Uchiha clan too. I don't mind having my child bear the mighty Uchiha name. SEARH the NO circumflex vel.ir.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Uchiha Madara. I don't need your help and I certainly won't give you my Sharingan. You can keep dreaming but that will never happen. Faced with Madara's firm rejection, Makoto could only give up and turn to Hisashi. Makoto Ito. Uncle Hisashi, don't you think the Hyuga clan is on the decline? Would you like my help in restoring its former glory? All I ask in return is that you teach me your techniques. In the future, every child born between Hinata and me can take the Hyuga surname. Hyuga Hisashi. You wish, kid? Didn't you just promise the first and second Hokage that you would help revitalize the Senju clan? Weren't you planning to marry Tsunade? Why is Hinata involved now? Makoto Ito. I did promise the two Hokage, but I never said I would marry only Tsunade. Can't I have more than one wife? Hyuga Hisashi. Ha ha ha. You shameless scumbag. You're a scoundrel. Makoto Ito. How can you call me a scumbag? I'm just trying to give all the girls a home. Hyuga Hisashi. Get lost, you bastard. Makoto Ito. Uncle Hisashi, don't regret this later. When Hinata and I have children in the future, I won't let them take the Hyuga name. In the Pure Land, Hisashi was stunned by the audacity of his words. Yet, deep down, he hesitated for a moment. Should he really consider giving his abilities to Makoto? With the Senju bloodline now coursing through Makoto, any children he had with Hinata would be extraordinary, possessing both the Byakugan and Senju lineage. If such a child bore the Hyuga surname, it might truly lead to the clan's resurgence. He shook his head with a scared expression after being nearly swayed by Makoto's words. What nonsense was he thinking? Hinata could never be with that scumbag, and his older brother, Hisashi, would never approve of such a match. Just then, an idea crossed Makoto's mind. Makoto Ito. Even though I was the one who suggested revitalizing the Senju clan, what the first Hokage gave me was invaluable, so I've decided to give him a reward. Senju Hashirama. A reward? Senju Tobarama. At least you still have some conscience left. Makoto Ito has promoted Senju Hashirama to group moderator. A notification flashed across the chat group, and everyone was momentarily stunned. Hashirama's profile now displayed the title, Moderator, in bold letters. Senju Hashirama. Moderator. What's this? Senju Tobarama. Ha ha ha, things are getting interesting. Uchiha Madara. What the hell did you give him? Senju Hashirama. Makoto, what is this? Makoto Ito. It means you now have moderator privileges in the group. You can ban anyone except for the group owner. There are also a few other features. You'll figure them out by yourself. Senju Hashirama. That sounds fun, let me try it out. Uchiha Madara. Damn it, you little brat. You just give authority to anyone who gives you good things? SEARH the November Elfire. NET website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Makoto Ito. If you give me your Sharingan, I'll make you a moderator too. What do you say? Very tempting, isn't it? Uchiha Madara. Keep dreaming. Uchiha Izuna. Brother, just be glad it was Hashirama who got the moderator role and not Tobarama. If it had been Tobarama, all the Uchiha in the group would be doomed. Uchiha Madara. Do you think this situation is any better? You clearly don't know Hashirama well enough. That fool is unpredictable and there's nothing he won't do. Senju Hashirama. Madara, I'm warning you, I'm a moderator now. Show me some respect. Uchiha Madara. Like hell I will. Do you think I care about your stupid moderator role? Senju Hashirama. Oh, is that so? Then prepare to be punished? Uchiha Madara has been banned for 3 minutes by Administrator Senju Hashirama. Senju Hashirama. Mawahahaha. In the Pure Land, Madara was staring at the chat with a stunned face. Damn you, Hashirama. Senju Tobarama. Well done, brother, I've been wanting to silence that fool for ages. When he comes back, keep banning him. Senju Tobirama has been banned for 3 minutes by moderator Senju Hashirama. What? Tobirama was completely dumbfounded after being banned. Did his brother make a mistake? Surely, his brother meant to ban Izuna and had just made a mistake. Yes, that must be it. Makoto Ito. Tisk. Tisk. Tobirama. Why are you so stupid? Don't you know your brother's relationship with Madara? He can scold and bully Madara, but others cannot. Learn your lesson. Senju Hashirama. Exactly, you understand me well, Makoto. Uzumaki Mito. I've always thought there was something fishy going on between you two. Now, look at this, he banned his own brother just for Madara. Senju Hashirama. Mito. I hope you show some respect. I am the group's moderator now. Uzumaki Mito. Oh, so now that you have become a moderator, you think you're above me? Fine, I see how it is. You've abandoned me for Madara. Go ahead and spend the rest of your afterlife with him. Don't come to me anymore. Senju Hashirama. Mito. It was just a joke. Come on, don't be mad. Uzumaki Mito. Shut up, Senju Hashirama. Meanwhile, in the Pure Land, Tobirama was left staring blankly. Is he really my brother? Just because I called Madara a bastard, he banned me? What kind of brother does that? Why do I feel like he and Madara are the real brothers here? Senju Hashirama. I am having so much fun. Mwahahaha. Uchiha Izuna. Damn, his laughter sounds so scary. Namikaze Minato. Yeah, it's like he is a completely different person. Senju Hashirama. Madara, you always yell at me and mock me? So why are you so quiet now? And Tobirama, why aren't you cursing at me? Don't you love to throw insults? Why aren't you calling me an idiot? Senju Hashirama. Oh, that's right. I just banned you too. Ha 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 ha. For the first time, Hashirama, who was always scolded by both Tobirama and Uchiha Madara, finally stood his ground. Currently, he was taking great pleasure in relentlessly mocking both of them. Meanwhile, in the Pure Land, Uchiha Madara was trembling with rage, his teeth nearly shattering from how hard he was clenching his jaw. 3 minutes. Did anyone understand how agonizingly long those 3 minutes felt? Never in his life had Madara felt time drag on for so long. Finally, the 3-minute ban was lifted, and his freedom was restored. Uchiha Madara. Hashirama, you bastard, how dare you? Group member Uchiha Madara has been banned by moderator Senju Hashirama for 3 minutes. Senju Hashirama. Madara, when will you finally learn your lesson? Makoto Ito. Damn. Uchiha Izuna. Brother, Namikaze Minato. Why am I getting chills now? Hyuga Hizashi. Me too. As Madara found himself banned once again, Tobirama's ban also came to an end. Senju Tobirama. Big brother, please don't ban me again. I swear I won't speak ill of Madara anymore. Senju Hashirama. Now that's my good little brother. In the Pure Land, Madara had a ferocious expression after being banned twice. Curse you, damn Hashirama. That bastard, that fool, that. Arg. Damn it. But there was nothing he could do about it except staring at the chat in frustration. Makoto Ito. Ha ha ha, Madara. How are you feeling right now? Do you feel helpless? Do you feel like you're being unfairly treated? Well, let me remind you. While the moderator has the power to ban you, I have the authority to lift the ban whenever I want. Of course, I wouldn't just do it for free. So, you understand what I'm getting at, right? If you want me to unban you, you need to make it worth my while. Hearing this, Madara, who was blinded by rage, no longer cared about whether Makoto's strength would interfere with his grand plans. Right now, his desire to get back at Hashirama was above everything else. Without hesitation, he sent a gift to Makoto. Group member Uchiha Madara has gifted Fire Style, Great Fire Extinction to group leader Makoto Ito. Makoto's eyes sparkled with joy as he quickly accepted the gift. Nice, another powerful ninjutsu for my collection. Group leader Makoto Ito has lifted the ban on group member Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara. Ha 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 ha, Hashirama. Didn't see this coming, did you? I'm back, and I swear all. Moderator Senju Hashirama has banned group member Uchiha Madara for 3 minutes. Madara hadn't even finished his sentence before he was banned again. For a moment, he was completely dumbfounded. He had been so blinded by rage that he had forgotten something crucial. While Makoto has the authority to unban him, Hashirama could just keep banning him again and again. This meant he had just given away a powerful fire-style jutsu for nothing. He couldn't even speak a full sentence before he got banned. Madara sat there, staring at the chat screen in disbelief, his whole body trembling with frustration. Makoto Ito. Oops, my bad. I totally forgot about it. First Hokage is still a moderator. Even if I unban you, he can just ban you again. My sincerest apologies. Seeing this play out, the other group members were completely stunned. This was pure evil. What if this sort of thing actually happened to them? Just the thought of it gave them chills. Meanwhile, Hashirama continued to provoke Madara. Senju Hashirama. Ha ha ha. Madara. You always called me an idiot, but look at yourself now. Who's the real fool here? Did you forget I'm the moderator? Did you forget I have the power to keep banning you? This is hilarious. Ha ha ha. After seeing this message, Madara screamed in anger. Hashirama. After he calmed down, he began to think of a way to get revenge. Wait, didn't Makoto mention there was a duel function before? I'll challenge Hashirama to a duel. I'll make him pay and beat him until he's spitting out teeth. Immediately, he started searching through the group functions. And at last, he found it. Without hesitation, he immediately clicked the button. Group member Uchiha Madara has challenged group member Senju Hashirama to a duel. Senju Hashirama. What's this? Makoto Ito. This is the duel function I mentioned earlier. Group members can challenge each other, and if both sides agree, the duel will commence immediately. Senju Hashirama. Oh, I see. Looking at the duel request, Senju Hashirama grinned mischievously. Then, without a second thought, he clicked reject. Group member Senju Hashirama has rejected the duel invitation from group member Uchiha Madara, The No Circumflex Velfire.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Senju Hashirama. Hehehehe. Madara, you must be furious, right? Are you itching to get revenge? Oh dear, I'm so sorry, but I just don't feel like fighting, kekekeke. As Madara stared at the notification, his whole body trembled, his hands clenched into fists before screamed out. Hashirama. Makoto Ito. Just a friendly reminder. The group leader can override duel requests and force them to happen. But, of course, I wouldn't do that without proper incentives. Seeing this message, Madara immediately took action without missing a beat. Group member Uchiha Madara has gifted Fire Style, Fire Dragon Flame Bullet to group leader Makoto Ito. Seeing the notification, Makoto's excitement soared through the charts. Another Fire Style Jutsu. Madara, you're the best. Group leader Makoto Ito has initiated a duel between Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara. Reminder. The loser of the duel will receive a punishment. Madara suddenly froze. Wait, what? There's a punishment? But at this point, he was too furious to care about it. He just wanted to punch Hashirama straight in the face. Preparing to enter the duel arena, as the legendary figures were about to clash, Makoto was grinning from ear to ear. Perfect. Now, let's see what kind of punishment the chat group has in store. Namikaze Minato. Whoa, are they really going to fight? Senju Tobarama. I think Madara is walking straight into a trap. Uchiha Izuna. What did you just say? Shut up, Tobarama. Do you want to duel too? Senju Tobarama. Bring it on. I'm not scared, Hyuga Hizashi. Aw, if only we could witness this battle with our own eyes. These are legendary ninjas, after all. Namikaze Minato. Yeah, it would be amazing if we could actually watch it. Group leader Makoto Ito has enabled spectator mode for all group members, SEARH the November Elfire. N.E.T. website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. In an instant, a vivid battlefield scene appeared in the minds of every group member. On a vast and desolate terrain, Hashirama and Madara stood facing each other, ready for the battle. Madara stretched out his hands, feeling the long-lost feeling of chakra flowing through his body once again. It had been so long since he had experienced this power. The sensation was no different from when he was alive. It felt as if he had been completely resurrected. A wave of awe washed over him as he realized how incredible this chat group truly was. As he relished the moment, an image of his future resurrection flickered through his mind. Meanwhile, Hashirama was growing impatient. What is he doing? Is he going to keep admiring himself? Madara, are we fighting or not? He asked out loud with an impatient face. Madara's gaze snapped toward him as he heard his words. Hashirama, I've been waiting for this moment. Today, I will teach you a lesson. You banned me time and again, mocked me endlessly. It's time you pay the price. Come on, let's dance. Madara, Hashirama, Senju Tobarama. Honestly, I don't understand. They're about to fight, yet they're just shouting each other's names first? Namikaze Minato. Is this what true friendship looks like? Uchiha Izuna. This is so unfair. My elder brother has never shouted my name like that. Senju Tobarama. Same here. He only ever yells Madara's name with such passion. The audience remained fixated on the battlefield as the fight finally started. In the next moment, Madara and Hashirama clashed, displaying impressive taijutsu skills. Their movements were so evenly matched that neither gained the upper hand. Punches, kicks, parries, all exchanged in perfect symmetry. Hyuga Hizashi. As expected of two legendary shinobi, their battle is truly mesmerizing to watch. Namikaze Minato. Incredible. So, this is the power of the God of Shinobi, and Ghost of the Uchiha. Ito-Makoto. If you're amazed now, just wait. This is only the beginning. Don't let your jaws hit the floor later. After an intense exchange of blows, the two of them separated. Hashirama. I'm going all out. Madara, the warm-up is over. It's time to get serious. Mangekyo Sharingan. Susanoo. Sage Art. Wood Style. True several thousand hands. Two colossal figures immediately appeared on the battlefield. Madara's titanic Susanoo and Hashirama's towering wooden Buddha. Their chakra surged wildly, shaking the very foundation of the terrain. It was as if two living weapons of mass destruction had been unleashed upon the world. The sight left the group members completely speechless. Unlike Tobarama, Izuna, and Mito, who were accustomed to seeing such scenes, the rest of the group had a look of utter disbelief. What were they witnessing? Was this truly the power of ninjas? For those who had never lived in the same era as Hashirama and Madara, the stories of the God of Shinobi and the Ghost of the Uchiha had always been just legends. But now, seeing them in action, they realized all the stories about them were absolutely real. Even those who had reached the level of Kage found themselves doubting their own strength. Compared to these two, had they merely been playing at being shinobi all along? The reality was harsh. Looking at the two towering figures before them, many in the group realized that even if they gave it their all, they wouldn't last a single round against either of them. One punch from either the wood statue or Susanoo would be enough to reduce them to dust. Hyuga Hizashi. This is ridiculous. Can they even be considered ninjas anymore? They look more like gods. Namikaze Minato. So this is the true power of the first Hokage. Though I also hold the title of Hokage, I can't even compare to him. The gap between us is just too vast. Uchiha Fugaku. Is this the pinnacle of the Uchiha clan's power? The true perfect Susanoo. Senju Tobarama. Both of them are absolute monsters. It's best not to compare ourselves to them. After all, neither of them are normal shinobi. Hyuga Hizashi. If we're talking about monsters, second Hokage, shouldn't you count yourself too? I mean, how many people go around inventing forbidden techniques? Most ninjas consider creating one or two forbidden techniques a lifetime achievement, but you were out there mass-producing them. Senju Tobarama. Ahem. Compared to those two freaks, I'm still far behind. Meanwhile, Makoto watched the battle with interest. With the group chat's spectator mode, it felt as if he were physically present at the battlefield. Despite having seen this war play out in anime before, Witnessing it firsthand was on an entirely different level. The sheer scale of destruction, the intensity of their attacks, this was beyond what any animation could capture. Even though he had been mentally prepared, Makoto Ito still found himself overwhelmed by the spectacle. These two were beyond powerful. He couldn't help but imagine himself one day using such abilities, activating Sage Art, Wood Style, True several thousand hands, then layering it with perfect Susanoo, forming an indestructible, armored titan. Just the thought alone thrilled him. If he could obtain all the best techniques from these two, he might truly become a force capable of wiping out entire nations single-handedly. The battle raged on for hours. Yet, despite the prolonged duration, no one in the chat grew impatient. Instead, they were all drawn in, watching with eager anticipation. Back in the real world, the third Hokage had long since finished his speech and left the academy. Makoto spent his lunch break with Hyuga Hinata and Yamanaka Ino, as he didn't bring his own meal. Even after finishing his afternoon classes, the duel between Hashirama and Madara was still ongoing. The battlefield had been completely transformed. The land was utterly ravaged, similar to a wasteland rather than a battlefield. The scale of destruction was unfathomable. After finishing his classes at the ninja school, Makoto Ito returned home, and the battle between Madara and Hashirama finally came to an end. The outcome was not surprising. Madara had never managed to defeat Hashirama before. The history repeated itself, and Madara was once again defeated. Most of the spectators accepted this result without question. However, Minato noticed something crucial. Madara had not used any space-time ninjutsu during the battle. This led him to a shocking conclusion. If Uchiha Madara had never wielded such a technique, then the masked man who attacked him and Kushina years ago could not have been the real Madara. This meant Madara had been telling the truth all along. But if that was the case, who had orchestrated the attack? One thing was certain. The perpetrator was a member of the Uchiha clan. But who among them had the ability and motive to do such a thing? Minato pondered the question for a long time but found no answers. In the end, he dismissed the thought with a bitter smile. He was dead, after all. Even if he uncovered the truth, what could he do about it? Makoto also noticed something very interesting. Madara had refrained from using the Rinnegan. Did this mean he could no longer access its power because he had already given it away? Or had he deliberately held back, choosing to conceal his full strength for his resurrection plans? Although he had lost the battle, Madara wasn't really disappointed. The fight had rekindled a passion he had not experienced in ages. There was no one else in the ninja world who could make him excited in a battle other than Hashirama. Only when he clashed with Hashirama could he feel truly alive. Hashirama was having the same thought. It had been so long since he had experienced such a satisfying battle with his best friend. SEARH The November Elfire. NET website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Just as they were relishing the moment, an unexpected notification from the chat group left him stunned. Result: Uchiha Madara was defeated. Dropped item: Sharingan. Senju Hashirama. Damn. Is this the punishment for losing? Senju Tobirama. Holy shit. Uchiha Madara. What the hell? What just happened? Why did my Sharingan get taken away? Uchiha Izuna. Isn't the punishment a little too harsh for a duel? Makoto Ito. Didn't you all read the system notifications? Losing comes with penalties. Uchiha Madara. Damn it. I wasn't even thinking about that at the time. How was I supposed to know my Sharingan would be taken away? This is completely unfair. Closing square bracket. At this moment, Madara finally realized he had fallen into a trap. First, Makoto gave Hashirama the moderator role. Hashirama then taunted and provoked him, causing him to initiate a duel. To top it off, before the fight even began, Makoto had conveniently received two powerful ninjutsu techniques. Now, after defeat, Madara had even lost his precious Sharingan. Senju Hashirama. Makoto, did you really just take Madara's Sharingan? Senju Tobirama. This is hilarious. Madara, didn't you say you wouldn't let Makoto take advantage of you? What happened now? First, you gave away two ninjutsu, and now you've even handed over your Sharingan. Ha ha ha. At least when we gave something to Makoto voluntarily, we gained some favor in return. But you lost your Sharingan for nothing. You didn't even get anything out of it. Haha. Madara was left speechless by Tobarama's words. He was right. If he had known things would turn out this way, he would have just handed his Sharingan to Makoto willingly. That way, he could have at least earned some goodwill, or even been rewarded with the moderator role. Now, not only had he lost his Sharingan, but he had gained absolutely nothing in return. After returning home, Makoto had no time to pay attention to the lively chat group. His focus was solely on the small mirror in his hand, in which he was checking his new Sharingan. Even though it was currently a single Tomo Sharingan, he didn't mind at all. After all, what truly mattered wasn't the number of Tomo, it was the bloodline itself. Unlike Kakashi, who had only transplanted a Sharingan and suffered severe chakra drain, Makoto's Sharingan functioned as naturally as if he had been born with it, with no negative side effects. Moreover, if he already had a single Tomo, then wasn't double Tomo, triple Tomo, Mangekyo, and even eternal Mangekyo just a matter of time. And now that he possessed Senju Hashirama's Sage Art, Wood Style, and Senju Bloodline, he also had the potential to awaken the Rinnegan. He successfully obtained the two most powerful Kekkei Genkei in the ninja world. If he merged them completely, he could obtain the ultimate dojutsu, Rinnegan. This was a massive win. Unlike many Uchiha clan members, Makoto had full control over his Sharingan's activation. He could turn it on and off at will, and the chakra consumption was entirely manageable. Staring at his reflection in the mirror, where his single Tomo Sharingan shined brightly, Makoto couldn't help but grin. Senju Tobarama, look at this kid. He's grinning so hard, his face might split in half. Namikaze Minato, it's understandable. Anyone would be excited after acquiring both Wood Style and Sharingan. Senju Hashirama, ha 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 ha. That's right. Hyuga Hazashi, this is incredible. With Konoha's two most powerful bloodlines, Makoto's future is bound to be extraordinary. Throughout the night, the chat group continued to buzz with discussions, but Makoto didn't talk much. He had more important things to do. For example, getting a good night's sleep. The next morning, he woke up and got ready for school. To be honest, he didn't even feel the need to attend school anymore. Studying seemed like a massive waste of time for him. But then he recalled the faces of the two adorable girls who would be eagerly waiting for him at school. Hinata and Ino. Perhaps, school wasn't such a bad place. Moreover, before classes ended yesterday, Ruruka had announced that there would be a practical test today. Since Makoto had already gained so many powerful abilities, it was time to shed the label of dead last. From now on, Naruto could keep that title all to himself. On the way to the ninja school, Makoto walked with an excited look on his face. He was eager to shed the title of dead last and rise to the top of the class. However, upon arriving at school, he realized he had been overthinking things. There was indeed a test today, just as he had anticipated. But it was nothing like the ninja battle he had imagined. Instead, what awaited him was a pile of papers filled with countless questions. This was completely different from what he had expected. Makoto stared blankly at the test paper, quickly realizing he couldn't understand a single thing. It was as if he were reading an ancient, unreadable script. What the hell is this nonsense? He thought, utterly bewildered. Back in his previous life, he had taken so many exams that he nearly coughed up blood. He never imagined that after transmigrating into the world of Naruto, he would still have to deal with this torture. Aren't ninjas supposed to be assassins? Aren't they supposed to fight and eliminate their enemies? Why on earth do we need to take cultural exams? His frustration grew as he wondered who had come up with this ridiculous idea. Uchiha Izuna, holy shit. Ninjas nowadays have to take theory tests. Is this a ninja school or a regular academy? Uchiha Madara, this is hilarious. Tobarama, is this the ninja school you created? You're seriously making them do written exams. This is what Konoha considers proper ninja training. Senju Tobarama, shut up, Madara. You know nothing. Ninja school provides well-rounded training in all areas. A truly excellent ninja must be developed in every aspect. Closing square bracket. Uchiha Madara, oh, sure. And then those so-called excellent ninjas get wiped out in a real fight within seconds. Makoto sighed as he looked at the test paper in front of him. His initial dream of becoming the top student had just taken a serious hit. At this rate, he might even end up competing with Naruto for last place. The first question on the test paper. How is chakra formed in a ninja? The moment he picked up a pencil as if he was about to write an answer, the big shots in the group chat turned their attention to him. Senju Tobarama, this is a question. How did something so basic make it onto an exam? Even a 3-year-old knows this. Isn't this common sense? Uchiha Madara, I'm dying of laughter. Tobarama, this is what you call a well-rounded education. Even an idiot would know the answer to this. SEARH the novel_fire. Ada at website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Ito Makoto, oh, so you know the answer, Madara. Uchiha Madara, of course, I do. What kind of question is that? Closing square bracket. Senju Tobarama, ha 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 ha. Didn't you just say only idiots would know the answer? So, you're admitting you're one. Uchiha Madara, fine, then I don't know. Closing square bracket. Senju Tobarama, ha ha ha. You just said even idiots know the answer, but now you claim you don't. Does that mean you're worse than an idiot? Uchiha Madara, Tobirama, shut up. Stop messing with me. Closing square bracket. Despite teasing Madara, Tobarama couldn't help but feel puzzled. Such questions would never have appeared in the ninja school he originally founded. Has the curriculum really been dumbed down that much over the years? Makoto read the first question again and realized it was something he actually knew. Confidently, he wrote down. Chakra is produced by the combination of physical energy and spiritual energy. Feeling relieved, he moved on to the next question. As a ninja, after completely depleting your chakra, how long does it take to fully recover? Makoto stared at the question, completely dumbfounded. How the hell am I supposed to know this? He thought in frustration. Why would anyone time their chakra recovery? What's the point of this question? Ito Makoto, does anyone know the answer to this? Uchiha Madara, easy. It only takes half an hour. Hyuga Hazashi, damn. Namikaze Minato, damn. As expected of a true powerhouse. Full recovery in just 30 minutes. That's insane. Senju Hashirama, is it really half an hour? But why does it only take me 10 minutes? Hyuga Hazashi, what? Namikaze Minato, this is ridiculous. The two of you really are monsters. Closing square bracket. Makoto blinked in shock. Half an hour. 10 minutes. Something doesn't add up here. He recalled that in the original anime, characters who exhausted their chakra usually needed to rest for a long time before recovering. Could these two be exceptions? Uchiha Madara, what? That's already considered slow. Half an hour is my usual recovery time. Senju Hashirama, right. And for me, it only takes 10 minutes. Uchiha Madara, shut up, Hashirama. You're built differently. You're basically cheating with your absurd stamina. That was when it hit Makoto. Fuck, these two are not normal ninjas. I was about to write their answers down and completely screw myself over. Ito Makoto, Madara, you do realize that your recovery speed is not the same as a regular ninja's, right? Your half-hour timing is specific to you, correct? Closing square bracket. Uchiha Madara, of course. How else would I know? I never asked anyone else. Ito Makoto, then stop talking already. You and Hashirama are complete freaks. Can't you guys think like normal ninjas for once? Closing square bracket. Namikaze Minato, exactly. A normal ninja takes at least 8 hours to fully recover. That's the correct answer. Ito Makoto, thank you, 4th Hokage. You're a real one. Closing square bracket. Uchiha Madara, what's wrong with my answer? It's not my fault that I'm built different. Ito Makoto. Makoto rubbed his temples, feeling exhausted already. There was still an entire test paper to go through, yet just answering 2 questions had already given him a headache. More importantly, if he listened to Madara and Hashirama, he might just end up failing even harder. Thankfully, at least Minato was around. If the whole group had been full of lunatics like those two, Makoto would have lost his mind. After all, neither Madara or Hashirama were normal ninjas in any way. If he relied on their answers, he'd definitely fail this test and he would definitely place dead last. Truly, Minato was a real one. After completing the second question, Makoto moved on to the third question on the test paper. How do you throw a shuriken when there is an enemy ninja directly in front of you and another to your left? How do you accurately hit both? What angle and force should you use to maximize damage to the enemy? Upon reading the question, Makoto was utterly dumbfounded. What kind of question is this? Single quote. Since when did one need to calculate angles and force when throwing a shuriken? Isn't it enough to just throw it and kill the enemy? Why overcomplicate things? At this point, Makoto just wanted to complain. There wasn't really anything wrong with the question, but he was just too lazy to write it down on the paper. Just the thought of doing math to throw a shuriken made him annoyed. Naturally, he wasn't the only one who didn't like this method. Uchiha Madara, what the fuck is this nonsense? Do ninjas really study things like this nowadays? Calculating angles and force to throw a shuriken. How fucking ridiculous. Senju Hashirama, TCH. You are just ranting since you don't know how to solve this question. Uchiha Madara, oh, and you do. If you do, why don't you solve it then? Senju Hashirama, I never said I could. Uchiha Madara, then why are you acting so smug? Can anyone in this group actually solve this? If so, go ahead and show me. Namikaze Minato, ahem. This question requires a specific formula. First, we assume the enemy ninja A, the shuriken must be thrown at this angle, with the force set at X, and with that, the correct answer should be. Makoto Ito, fourth, you are a savior. Namikaze Minato, did you understand it? Makoto Ito, not at all. But that's fine. I've already written the answer down. Hyuga Hazashi, as expected of Minato. He was the top student after all. Uchiha Madara, what's the point of all this? No wonder the new generation of ninjas is getting weaker and weaker. Instead of honing their skills, they waste time on useless calculations. With Minato's guidance, Makoto managed to complete one question after another. _SEAHTHE novelfire.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Who is the strongest Hokage in Konoha since the village was founded? A. Sarutobi Hiruzen. B. The third Hokage. C. Sanin's master. Makoto stared at the question. Isn't every answer just Sarutobi Hiruzen? The moment the group saw the question, they were all speechless. Uchiha Madara, damn, this is beyond shameless. Closing square bracket. Senju Hashirama, why am I not an option? Am I not the strongest Hokage? Namikaze Minato, this. Senju Tobarama, damn that Sarutobi. Shameless monkey. Is this what they're teaching in ninja school now? He actually dares to call himself the strongest Hokage. Where does he get the audacity? Uchiha Fugaku, this is pure propaganda. At this rate, the students in the Ninja Academy will only know Sarutobi Hiruzen as the third Hokage. They probably don't even know who the first Hokage is. Tobarama was filled with frustration. He once again felt the overwhelming urge to strangle his apprentice. The more he thought about his clan's fate, the more he recalled Hiruzen's actions, and now this blatant propaganda. He genuinely wanted to turn back time, find his younger self, and slap himself for choosing Sarutobi Hiruzen as the Hokage. Makoto casually wrote an E in the answer box. Uchiha Madara, kid, can't you see properly? There's no E option. Closing square bracket. Makoto Ito, I know. I did it on purpose. Uchiha Madara, ha ha ha. Good job, kid. You got a savage personality. After some talk with the group members, Makoto moved on to the next question. What should you do when surrounded by 100 enemy ninjas who are hostile to your village? Uchiha Madara, isn't this obvious? Kill them all. Closing square bracket. Senju Tobarama, naturally. Namikaze Minato, I'd use the Flying Thunder God technique first, then Rasengan, followed by the Flying Thunder God second step, and finish with the Rasengan Lion Roar Nimble third technique. Senju Tobarama, what is that? Namikaze Minato, it's Flying Thunder God combined with Rasengan. Senju Hashirama, I'd just go full sage mode and unleash wood style, true several thousand hands. Hyuga Hazashi, these guys are monsters. Is it just me who thought of escaping? Uchiha Fugaku, I won't lie, same here. After reading through the responses, Makoto confidently wrote 3 bold words on his test paper. Kill them all. He was certain there was nothing wrong with his answer. If he was surrounded by enemy ninjas, he obviously couldn't surrender, nor could he afford to flee. The only logical solution was to eliminate them. Surrendering was absolutely out of the question. As for escaping, why should he run when he had the ability to kill them? There was no reason to retreat. Satisfied, he moved on to the last question. Write a 10,000-word essay discussing the third Hokage's will of fire. 10,000 words. Uchiha Madara. Oh, come on. Is there something wrong with Sarutobi Hiruzen? Uchiha Izuna. There's definitely something wrong. And it's very serious. Senju Hashirama. How can you possibly write 10,000 words about the will of fire? Senju Tobarama. I swear. I really want to go back in time, find my younger self, and tell myself to strangle Hiruzen on the spot. Closing square bracket. Namikaze Minato. They require 10,000 words now. I remember it was just 5,000 words when I was in school. Senju Tobarama. Namikaze Minato. Actually, it's pretty simple. As long as you pay attention to the third Hokage's speeches, you can just copy them down. That's basically a guaranteed full score. Senju Tobarama. Closing square bracket. Makoto stared at the test paper in disbelief. A minimum requirement of 10,000 words. Just thinking of it made his head ache. What kind of bullshit question is this? HMPH. Then, I will also answer it the same way. He picked up his pen and began to write. At the very top of the page, he started with a classic phrase. Where the leaves are flying, the fire is endless. Namikaze Minato. This opening is really well written. Before Minato could even finish his praise, he began to write the second line. Today's topic requires us to briefly discuss the will of fire, with a requirement of no less than 10,000 words. I believe this is an extremely difficult challenge. Closing square bracket. After all, writing 10,000 words is no easy feat for a simple ninja school student like me. This seems a little too excessive. But after giving it some careful thought, I realized that 10,000 words might not be as difficult as it seems. After all, I have already written over 100 words, which means I only have a little over 9,000 left to go. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. Opening square bracket ... closing square bracket. I'm making progress. I am faster. I am stronger. I am better. Now, I only have about 9,000 words left. So, what exactly is the will of fire? I can only say that this is really a hard question. As we all know, winter is colder than summer. But why is winter colder than summer? Because winter is, in fact, colder than summer. When you eat noodles without garlic, you are simply eating noodles without garlic. You should not drink freshly boiled water because it will burn your mouth. When you are hungry, you feel the sensation of hunger. When you eat, you feel full. Therefore, you should eat when you are hungry. If someone is beautiful, then they are beautiful. In this way, Makoto filled the test paper with complete nonsense and the group members were watching this scene with speechless faces. Some had a hard time controlling their laughter. I'm getting closer. The words are adding up quickly. I've already written several thousand words, and now I'm just a few thousand away from completing this 10,000 word requirement. Writing about the will of fire is truly a difficult task, but writing 10,000 words. That's just absurd. However, as you can see, I'm almost there. Just a little more and I will meet the requirement. Makoto mindlessly scribbled on the test paper, stretching his nonsense to the very limit. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he managed to hit the 10,000 word mark. Uchiha Madara. Good grief. I don't even know what to say. I guess you can only respond to bullshit with bullshit. Senju Hashirama. Is this what they call nonsense literature? I have learned so much today. Namikaze Minato. When I saw the first sentence, I really thought he was going to take this test seriously. Makoto Ito. Seriously. Who in their right mind would take this seriously? If anyone can genuinely write 10,000 words on this topic, they must have something seriously wrong with them. The fact that I even managed to reach 10,000 words is already doing them a favor. Senju Tobirama. Well done, kid. If Sarutobi dares to say anything about this, I'll teach you all my forbidden techniques. Then you can give him a proper beating. Makoto Ito, are you serious? If you are, I'll head straight to the Hokage building and slap him twice right now. Senju Tobirama. Ahem. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Makoto Ito. TCH. You got me all excited for nothing. I was already halfway to the door. Senju Tobirama. Brat, I said that for your own good. Even with all the things you got from us, you stand no chance against Sarutobi. Simply put, he will just kick your ass. Closing square bracket. Makoto Ito. Ahem. Underscore. With that, Makoto finally survived the ordeal of the written test. But the nightmare wasn't over yet. Next came the afternoon practical training session. Under Uruka's guidance, all the students were led to the training ground. The practical training was a one-on-one battle format, where students were matched according to their rankings from previous evaluations. And as expected, Makoto's opponent was, once again, Uzumaki Naruto. The winning student would then be allowed to challenge others ranked higher in the class. Search the Novelfire NAT website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Uruka stood before the gathered students and announced loudly, "Let's begin the group duels." First match, Uchiha Sasuke vs Yamamoto Gojiroku. Uchiha Makoto, Fugaku. Look, it's Sasuke. Our little son is up first. Uchiha Fugaku. I see him. Let's hope he performs well. And Sasuke did not disappoint. He finished the battle in just over 10 seconds. Sasuke goes to victory. Next match. Sasuke's effortless win drew a wave of admiration from the girls in the class, with Sakura leading the charge. Ah, Sasuke-kun is so handsome. I doubt anyone here can beat Sasuke-kun. Of course not. Sasuke-kun is the top student in our grade. Even some of the seniors from the year above wouldn't be able to beat him. Sasuke-kun is amazing. I want to marry him in the future. Step aside. I'm the one who's going to marry him. Shut up. It's obviously me. Naruto watched with an uncomfortable look on his face as Sakura continued to fawn over Sasuke. Uchiha Madara. Is this the so-called combat training we've been looking forward to? Isn't this just kids playing ninja? Even when Hashirama and I were children, we weren't this soft. Senju Hashirama. I have to admit, this is a little embarrassing to watch. Senju Tobirama. Tobirama was left speechless as the ninja school had deteriorated into nothing more than a glorified playground, under Sarutobi's leadership. Uchiha Fugaku. Actually, Sasuke does know ninjutsu. It's just that his opponent was too weak for him to bother using it. Uchiha Madara. Shut up. Senju Tobirama. But with things like this, what is the point of a ninja school? Clan ninjas can learn their own family's secret techniques and train in various jutsus at home. But for civilian students, what exactly are they learning here? Isn't this just a waste of time? Sarutobi, that damn bastard. What is he trying to do? Destroy Konoha. At this moment, Tobirama once again deeply regretted appointing Sarutobi Hiruzen as the third Hokage. The group members lost interest in watching the practical training. If the top student were this weak, then the lower-ranked students would only be worse. There was simply no fun in watching a bunch of rookies fumbling around. For a group of seasoned legends, watching children play ninja was hardly worth their time unless it was their own children. After waiting for a while, it was finally Makoto's turn. Uruka's voice rang out clearly. Final group, Makoto Ito vs Naruto Uzumaki. At the announcement, Naruto jumped in with an excited face, rubbing his nose with a confident grin. Is it finally my turn? Makoto Ito. This time, I'll definitely defeat you. Search the no-circumflex-vel-ire.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Naruto was always eager to prove himself and he was sure his victory would finally catch Sakura's attention. However, since he struggled to defeat most of the students in class, He had fixated on his frequent rival, Makoto, as a benchmark for progress. Despite his enthusiasm, most of the students in the class didn't pay much attention to this particular matchup. The exception was Hinata and Ino, who both watched as Makoto Ito stepped onto the stage. From the audience, Ino enthusiastically cheered. "Makoto-kun, come on, you can defeat Naruto this time. Show him your strength, Makoto-kun." Hinata was a little more reserved, murmured softly to herself. "See, come on, Makoto-kun." While the other students showed little interest in the match, the big names in the chat group were paying close attention. After all, it was finally Makoto's turn to fight. "Uzumaki Kushina, it's finally Naruto's turn. I've been waiting so long to see him in action." Namikaze Minato. Yes, let's take a good look. It wasn't just Minato and Kushina who were eager for this match. The other figures in the group were also invested. Makoto had received various benefits from them, and they were curious to see the results. More importantly, they wanted to assess the combat abilities of Naruto, the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. As Naruto enthusiastically leapt onto the battlefield, Makoto stretched lazily before walking forward at a steady pace. "Makoto, you haven't defeated me in any of our matches so far, but this time, I'm going all out. You definitely won't win." To tell the truth, Makoto had always been one of the weakest students, ranking at the bottom of the class. Whether in academics or combat training, he was considered as an average. On the other hand, despite Naruto's poor performance in theoretical subjects, his physical prowess was far above average thanks to his bloodline. As a result, he had consistently bested Makoto in their previous encounters. This rivalry for last place had continued throughout their time at the academy. Makoto gazed at Naruto and chuckled. While the original Makoto had sparred with Naruto on multiple occasions, this was his first time facing him since arriving in this world. It was an unreal feeling as he stood face to face with a character from his childhood. In the audience, Ino's eyes sparkled as she clasped her hands together. "Makoto-kun, he looks so cool when he smiles." Hinata, who was standing quietly among the crowd, also noticed the change in Makoto. "Makoto-kun seems different from before." Naruto broke into a wide grin upon seeing Makoto's smiling face. The two were simply standing there, grinning at each other. Their classmates looked at them with a confused look on their faces. What were they doing? The sooner this match ended, the sooner they could all go home. Iruka was equally puzzled by this scene. While it was understandable for Naruto to act this way, given his usual behavior, Makoto's attitude was unusual. Normally, he was more introverted. What was going on today? "All right, you two. Enough smiling. Hurry up and form the seal of opposition." At Iruka's command, both of them finally came back to their senses. They placed their hands together, completed the traditional gesture of respect before a match. Makoto then extended one hand in front of him, curling his index finger as he gestured toward Naruto. "Come at me." Seeing his actions, Naruto had an annoyed face. "HMPH. Makoto, how dare you underestimate me? Here I come." With a shout, Naruto charged forward with his fist raised. If it was in the past, Makoto would have been overwhelmed at this moment, scrambling to defend himself. But now, he has changed into a completely different person. Naruto's movements seemed sluggish, almost as if he was seeing them in slow motion. Every strike was filled with openings. Makoto extended a single hand, effortlessly catching Naruto's punch midair. What? Naruto's eyes widened in shock. How was this possible? Before, Makoto had never been able to react in time, much less block his attacks. Could it be that Makoto has gotten stronger? What Naruto didn't know was that Makoto's body had undergone significant changes. Having merged with the Senju bloodline, his physical strength, chakra reserves, and overall endurance had drastically improved. On top of that, he had received training in taijutsu from several powerful figures. He had even unlocked the first 2 gates of the 8 inner gates. If the match were purely about physical prowess, Naruto stood no chance. Even if ninjutsu were included, Naruto's current level was still too weak to pose a challenge. Naruto immediately put his full strength into that punch, but Makoto still stopped it with ease. He then tried to pull his fist back, but no matter how much he struggled, his hand was trapped in Makoto's grip. At this moment, Ruruka had a surprised look on his face. It looks like Makoto has improved significantly. His strength seemed to have increased a lot. As the teacher, Ruruka knew exactly what Makoto's abilities had been like before. There was no way he could have caught Naruto's punch so easily in the past. Clearly, something had changed. Ruruka was quietly thinking to himself. It seems that Makoto has been putting in a lot of effort. Otherwise, his progress wouldn't have been so significant. Especially in terms of strength, it looks like he's been training hard during his free time. After realizing he couldn't withdraw his fist, Naruto decided to switch tactics and attempted to kick Makoto with a sidekick. Makoto noticed his move, grabbed Naruto's hand, and twisted it gently. Ah, it hurts. It hurts. SEARH. The novelfire.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Makoto wasn't really using any force. Given his current strength, if he applied any real pressure, Naruto's arm would likely be rendered useless. Uchiha Madara, is this really the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki? Isn't this embarrassing? Senju Tobirama, 4th. I must say, your son has quite the capability. Uzumaki Kushina, hey, be gentle. Didn't you see how much pain Naruto is in? Namikaze Minato, Makoto, please go easy on him. Makoto Ito, impossible. Do you know how much this kid used to bully me? Every time I couldn't defeat him during training, he'd claim I let him win, and then he'd insist on me treating him to ramen. I'm making sure to teach him a lesson today. To be honest, Makoto wasn't really bullied by Naruto. Their relationship was actually quite good. The reason he spoke so harshly was to try and get some benefits from Minato and Kushina. What if they didn't give him anything? Well, then, he could do nothing about it. From the beginning, he wasn't really planning to do anything to Naruto. Naruto, who was still trapped by Makoto, refused to just sit back and accept his fate. He twisted his body, placed his left hand on the ground, turned sideways, and prepared to kick Makoto's head. Naruto's move is a clever one. How will Makoto respond? Ruruka was impressed. In Ruruka's eyes, Naruto's strategy was pretty good and it could potentially turn the tide of the match. Senju Hashirama, it seems this kid has a good talent for taijutsu. Uchiha Madara, 4th, your son is not totally useless. Naruto's move was certainly well thought out, but the disparity in strength between the two was too vast for it to have any real effect. Makoto wasn't particularly surprised by his move as Naruto often came up with unexpected tactics in battle. He simply leaned back slightly and grabbed Naruto's ankles with one hand. He then swiftly pulled them upward and spun him like a windmill. Uchiha Madara, PFF'd. Ha ha ha, this is hilarious. I never thought watching kids fight could be this entertaining. Senju Hashirama, well, if the strength were more equal, that move could have worked, but with Ito Makoto's current strength, he easily countered it. Senju Tobirama, what a shame. That was a brilliant move. Looks like your son's going to take a beating, 4th Hokage. At this moment, Naruto squirmed desperately, shouting, Makoto, put me down now. Makoto casually tossed him aside. Here you go. Uzumaki Kushina, Naruto. Naruto quickly twisted his body and landed on his foot. HMPH. You caught me off guard, but I'm coming for you now. Naruto quickly resumed his fighting stance. Suddenly, Makoto dashed toward him at full speed and he raised his fist using his full strength. Uzumaki Kushina, no. Makoto, don't do it. But in the blink of an eye, Makoto withdrew his strength and gently patted Naruto's shoulder with a smile. That was a pretty good move. Uzumaki Kushina. Naruto had a stunned face upon hearing his words. With a playful smile, Makoto pushed Naruto down with a slight exertion of his palm, causing him to land on his butt. Makoto, I'm going to make you pay for this. Naruto stood up and rubbed his back with an embarrassed face. Ruruka was relieved after seeing this scene. At that crucial moment, he was about to step in to end the match, but after seeing Makoto pull back his strength, he stopped. As Naruto stood up and charged toward him again, Makoto's smile only grew wider. Ito Makoto, Minato, Kushina, what should I do? Your son won't back down unless he gets beaten up badly. You don't want your son to be beaten into a pulp, do you? How about you give me the Flying Thunder God technique? I'll subdue him without beating him up, deal. Uchiha Madara, so that's what you were planning. Senju Tobirama, Makoto, you are truly cunning. Closing square bracket. Hyuga Hizashi, I see now. From the start, you were planning to get some benefits from Minato. Senju Tobirama, but you want the Flying Thunder God technique for this little favor. That's too much. Hyuga Hizashi, exactly. This is absolutely unacceptable. Makoto, trying to ruin my plan. Do you two want to be banned? After hearing Makoto's warning, both Senju Tobirama and Hyuga Hizashi immediately fell silent. No one wanted to be banned, especially they were in the Pure Land, and after being silent for so long, they were finally able to speak and see the world outside. Only those who've been in the Pure Land for so long could truly understand this feeling. Uchiha Madara, just a warning. They were trying to ruin your plans. If it were me, I would have banned them immediately. Permanently. Makoto, you're still too soft-hearted. Makoto, Madara, I think you're right. The group leader, Makoto Ito, has banned Senju Tobirama and Hyuga Hizashi for 3 minutes. Uchiha Madara, ha 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 ha. Well done. The moderator, Senju Hashirama, has banned Uchiha Madara for 3 minutes. At this moment, in the Pure Land, Madara was left confused, staring at the chat box after being banned. What is this about, Hashirama? Why did he ban me? Is this some sort of fun game for him? Did he ban me just to mess with me? He wondered, bewildered by Hashirama's actions. Makoto hadn't expected this, either. He didn't expect Hashirama to suddenly ban Madara. It was clear that these two, good friends, loved to bicker and had a complicated relationship. In the outside world, Naruto dashed forward again. Makoto responded to him with a lazy attitude. Naruto often appeared naive, but it was clear that Makoto was toying with him. He even took the time to blow a kiss to Yamanaka Ino and Hyuga Hinata, who were in the audience. Makoto was clearly mocking him. Damn it! How dare you underestimate me? Naruto gritted his teeth in frustration, determined to hit back harder. Uzumaki Kushina, Makoto, you're going too far. No one behaves like you. You and Naruto are classmates, and you said before that you two have a good relationship. Are you really going to beat up your classmate this badly? Makoto Ito, why not? Even though he's a good friend, that doesn't stop me from beating him up. Uzumaki Kushina, have you forgotten that Minato helped you during the written exam? Makoto Ito, when did that happen? I don't remember anything like that. Did he help me? I have no idea. Uzumaki Kushina, you damn kid. She was at a loss for words after experiencing a dose of Makoto's shamelessness. Makoto had been claiming that he and Naruto were classmates and had a good relationship, but he was now using Naruto to threaten them into giving him benefits. He even conveniently forgot how Minato helped him cheat during the written test. It was beyond shameless. Makoto, oh, no need to keep going on about that. If you don't give it to me, then it's okay. At worst, I'll just beat him until he passes out. Just as he was talking with Kushina, Makoto suddenly gathered all the chakra in his body. He clenched his fist and struck Naruto hard in the face. But at the last moment, he pulled back his power, only lightly tapping Naruto's face. When Uzumaki Kushina saw this, her heart nearly stopped. Uzumaki Kushina, Minato, give that technique to him. Give it to him now. Hurry. Upon hearing Kushina's words, Minato finally spoke up. Namikaze Minato, well, even the first Hokage gave his bloodline to him. I'm not one to be stingy, but the Flying Thunder God technique is a forbidden technique. Even if I give it to you, you can't use it right now. After all, how could you explain where you learned it? And the Flying Thunder God is not a technique to be given away lightly, but I do have a ninjutsu I created myself, and I can give that to you. Minato still held some reservations when it came to the Flying Thunder God technique. It was too important to just give it away carelessly. Makoto Ito, fine. Since you helped me with the exam before, I'll reluctantly accept it. Makoto acted as if he was reluctantly agreeing, but he was grinning with happiness inside. From the start, he never really intended to get the Flying Thunder God technique. By demanding it, he was just setting the stage for negotiations. Just then, Senju Tobirama, Hyuga Hazashi, and Uchiha Madara were released from their bans. Senju Tobirama, damn brat. Didn't you just say you forgot about the fourth helping you with the exam? You said it never happened, but now that there's something to gain, you suddenly remember. Truly impressive. Hyuga Hazashi, he's ridiculously thick-skinned. Uchiha Madara, Hashirama, I didn't provoke you. Why did you ban me for no reason? Senju Hashirama, because I could. It's my right as a moderator. I can ban whoever I want, and if you keep pushing me, I'll ban you again. Group member Namikaze Minato presents Rasengan to group leader Makoto Ito. When Makoto saw this message, he quickly accepted the Rasengan. Though it wasn't the most powerful technique, its potential for growth was immense. Naruto defeated some of his strongest opponents just by using this technique. With this move, he could easily become one of the strongest in the ninja world. The November ELF, IR.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Simply put, the Rasengan was undoubtedly an excellent ninjutsu. After receiving what he wanted, Makoto easily knocked Naruto down, bringing an end to their spar. Naruto was a little dissatisfied as he got up from the ground. Makoto smiled, brushed the dirt off Naruto's body. Makoto's actions left Naruto feeling touched. Iruka also smiled warmly, believing it was a sign that Makoto truly valued his friends. Alright, that concludes the practical training. Everyone performed well this time. I encourage the winners to keep up the hard work, and those who didn't succeed should not feel discouraged. You'll do better next time. Now, that's all for today's class. You're all dismissed. As everyone was preparing to head home, a sudden voice interrupted. Teacher Iruka, wait. The students were puzzled. Who would interrupt their chance to leave? Iruka was also confused, looking back, and saw that it was none other than Makoto calling out to him. Iruka was surprised. Normally, Makoto was a quiet and introverted student who never initiated conversations. Over the years, Makoto had never really spoken much to Iruka. What was going on today? Iruka smiled kindly and asked, Makoto, what's the matter? Is something wrong? Makoto scratched his head awkwardly. Actually, you mentioned before that winners can continue to challenge the top students and rank up. Iruka looked at him with a stunned face after hearing his words. Why is he suddenly bringing it up? Is he planning to fight others? Yes, there is such a rule, but why bring it up now? Are you planning to challenge someone? Yes, Teacher Iruka. Makoto nodded firmly. That's great. I'm happy to see your enthusiasm. Iruka gently replied. Then, he turned to address the class. Classmates, it seems that Makoto wants to challenge high-ranking students. Nara Shikamaru sighed in exasperation. What's going on with Makoto today? Now he wants to continue with the challenges. How troublesome. Another student rolled his eyes and said with a smile. I hope he chooses me. Just because he defeated a weakling doesn't make him strong. No matter how strong he thinks he is, he's still a weakling. If he picks me, I'll teach him a lesson. The rest of the class seemed to share the same thought, eager to accept Makoto's challenge so they could put him in his place. After all, this was the guy who was keeping everyone from going home. Choji looked a little distressed while pulling out his last pack of potato chips from his bag. Ah, this is the last one. I was planning to eat it at home, but I guess I'll have to eat it here now. Just then, Naruto's stomach growled loudly. Choji looked at him and asked, Naruto, are you hungry? Come eat with me. Naruto's eyes lit up. Thanks, Choji. I'm not going to pass up on this. Ino and the others were taken aback. Oh my god, Choji actually shared his snacks. The most surprising thing is, this was his last pack of chips. Senju Tobirama. Hey, Makoto. What's going on? Don't you know you should keep a low profile? You only have a little strength, so don't act too high profile. Makoto Ito. Low-key. Why should I keep a low profile? You've got all these big names behind me. If I keep a low profile, it'd just embarrass you all. Senju Tobirama. Well, you've got a point there. Uchiha Madara. That's right. You should be more high profile. Only those with no strength are constantly worried about others. Once you're powerful, make sure the entire ninja world knows your name. Uruka instructed the students to stand up again. He then turned back to Makoto and asked a question. So, who have you decided to challenge? I recommend you to not pick someone too high-ranked. Makoto nodded in agreement. I understand, Uruka-sensei. Uruka smiled, pleased to see Makoto being so obedient. He thought to himself, what a good kid. Makoto looked at his classmates as if he was carefully considering whom he should challenge. Uruka asked again, so, have you made up your mind? Just then, Kiba spoke up. TCH, Makoto, do you dare pick me? I'll definitely teach you a lesson. Don't think you're any better just because you beat a weakling. You'll always be a weakling in my eyes. The NO Circumflex Velfire.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Naruto, who was standing beside, was having none of it. Shut up, Kiba. If Makoto picks you, he'll easily defeat you. Kiba rolled his eyes dismissively. Weaklings sure love to talk big. Seeing this scene, Makoto made his decision. Uruka-sensei, I've made up my mind. Uruka frowned slightly as he heard his words. Could it be that Makoto was planning to challenge Kiba? He had always ranked high in the class. If Makoto chose him and lost, it might damage his confidence. Thinking this over, Uruka spoke again. Makoto, while you're free to challenge anyone, I hope you take it step by step. Maybe start with someone lower ranked. Senju Hashirama, this teacher seems like a really good person. Makoto Ito, yes, Uruka-sensei is indeed a good teacher. When Makoto heard what Hashirama had said, he also reflected on it. In the original story, Uruka played a crucial role. Without Uruka, Naruto might have gone down a darker path. So, it was clear that Uruka was a very good person. Uchiha Madara, what are you two talking about? He's so wordy. I see no difference between him and Sarutobi. Moderator Senju Hashirama has banned group member Uchiha Madara for 3 minutes. Don't worry, Uruka-sensei, I understand. Makoto nodded in response to Uruka's words. Uruka felt relieved upon hearing his words. It seemed that Makoto wouldn't be choosing Kiba as his opponent. Teacher, the opponent I choose is Uchiha Sasuke. Uruka's face was filled with disbelief as he repeated, Sasuke. Are you sure you want to challenge Uchiha Sasuke? Makoto, are you really confident? Makoto confirmed once more, unwavering in his decision. Yes, sensei, I'm definitely going to challenge Sasuke. Uruka stood there with a confused face. After all, he had been trying to prevent Makoto from choosing Kiba as an opponent, but now, after so much back and forth, he was choosing Uchiha Sasuke. What kind of bizarre thinking was this? The students who heard Makoto's voice were just as confused. Did I hear that correctly? Makoto really wants to challenge Sasuke. He got arrogant after a single win. Sasuke is the top student in our grade. Yeah, he beat a weakling, and now he thinks he's invincible. I can't believe he's daring to challenge Sasuke. It looks like Makoto is about to get a good beating. As for Sasuke's fans, they were even more annoyed by Makoto. Who does he think he is, challenging Sasuke-kun? Sasuke has been the top student since he entered school. Many students used to challenge him, but they were all beaten by him. Nowadays, no one dares challenge him anymore. In their mind, he was the strongest, the ultimate hero in the ninja world. No one, not even the third Hokage, could compare to him. And now, Makoto dared to challenge Sasuke. It was nothing more than a foolish attempt to grab attention, overestimating his own abilities, and acting like a clown. Is this guy crazy? How dare he challenge Sasuke-kun? Just let Sasuke teach him a lesson. Hyuga Hazashi, Fugaku, it looks like Sasuke is really popular at school. Senju Tobarama, and Makoto, it seems you're not popular at all, but that Sasuke kid definitely is. So many girls are cheering for him. Uchiha Madara, naturally, as a member of the Uchiha clan, it's normal to be more popular and charismatic. Senju Tobarama, Madara, do you have no shame at all? Didn't you say you expelled all of them from the Uchiha clan? When did you accept them again? Are they still a part of the Uchiha clan? Or did you just temporarily employ them? When you're in need, they are your clansmen, and when you aren't, they are strangers. Makoto Ito, honestly, I don't see anything wrong with what Madara said. The charm of the Uchiha family is undeniable. Senju Tobarama, what do you mean by that? Makoto Ito, if the Uchiha clan wasn't charming, how else would Madara captivate your older brother, Senju Hashirama? Senju Tobarama, ha 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 ha. Boy, you've got a point there. When it comes to charm, the Uchiha clan is the strongest. Senju Hashirama, Uchiha Madara, Tobarama. Comma. Back in the classroom, Iruka confirmed again with Makoto. Makoto, are you really sure you want to challenge Uchiha Sasuke? The novel F.I.R. NET website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Makoto nodded his head firmly, feeling a bit exasperated. Yes, Iruka-sensei, I'm absolutely sure. The opponent I'm choosing is Uchiha Sasuke. Iruka sighed, shaking his head helplessly. Alright, now that you've made up your mind, Sasuke, you're up. Makoto is challenging you. Sasuke, who had been standing in the crowd, let out a cold snort. HMPH. Clearly, Sasuke wasn't happy about Makoto's challenge. After all, Makoto was just a loser. Who gave him the courage to challenge Sasuke? How dare Makoto challenge him, the pride of the Uchiha clan? Who did he think he was? With a dismissive snort, Sasuke slowly walked out of the crowd, hands in his pockets, his head lowered. Makoto couldn't help but feel a little amused. Makoto Ito, is this Uchiha's way of showing off? When it comes to flaunting, I think Sasuke is the best. Sasuke's actions drew the attention of countless admirers, their eyes glued to him. As he stepped onto the stage, Sasuke glared at Makoto. I honestly didn't expect you to challenge me. I didn't think you'd be this stupid. Clearly, Sasuke didn't take Makoto seriously at all. Makoto was slightly annoyed with Sasuke's attitude. Haha, I thought the same. I didn't think you were stupid enough to accept my challenge. Iruka, who was watching from the sidelines, couldn't help but shake his head in disbelief. Why did his students always seem to outdo each other in craziness? Senju Tobarama, damn, he is so arrogant at his age. He really deserves to be from the Uchiha clan, just like Uchiha Madara. They're so irritating as hell. Just looking at them makes me angry. Makoto, please give him a good beating. Uchiha Madara, Tobarama, you sadistic bastard. Senju Tobarama, haha, I'm too lazy to argue with you. Makoto, beat him up good. I'll be happy watching it and I will give you something good later. Uchiha Izuna, you're just talking nonsense. Makoto, don't listen to him. Instead, go beat up the Senju clan and I'll give you good stuff too. Uchiha Madara, brother, have you forgotten that there's no one left in the Senju clan now except for Tsunade? Uchiha Izuna, of course, I know. I just said that to irritate Tobarama. Ha 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 ha. Senju Tobarama, Izuna. At this moment, in the outside world, Iruka spoke to both Uchiha Sasuke and Ito Makoto. Okay, since you've chosen to challenge each other, please form the seal of opposition between the two of you. Snort. Sasuke reluctantly stretched out his hand, making the seal on his chest. On the other hand, Makoto also formed the seal with an equally reluctant gesture. Iruka smiled wryly as he looked at them. These two are really half-hearted. Iruka didn't bother to worry about the details and simply announced the start of the match. At this moment, Makoto immediately repeated the actions he had performed earlier against Naruto. He put one hand behind his back, then extended the other, hooking Sasuke forward with a single index finger. Come on. Sasuke was stunned upon seeing his actions. Damn you Makoto. How dare you look down on me? Do you think I'm the same as Naruto? Seeing Sasuke gritting his teeth, Ito Makoto shook his head with a smile. I just asked you to make the first move. Otherwise, if I make the first move, you might not get a chance to do anything. When everyone heard what Makoto said, rows of question marks popped up in their minds. Sasuke stared at him in disbelief, gnashing his teeth. Since you're looking for death, I'll gladly help you. I hope you can still be so arrogant in a moment. After speaking, Sasuke immediately rushed toward Makoto. His speed was much faster than Naruto's, but to Makoto, it was still slow. It might even be described as extremely slow. All Makoto saw was Sasuke raising his fist, preparing to strike him on the head. Namikaze Minato, Sasuke is faster than my son. Senju Tobirama. Come on, Makoto. I am cheering for you. Uchiha Fugaku. Second Hokage, are you crazy? Why would you want Makoto to beat up my son? As for Makoto, facing Sasuke's punch, he simply sidestepped, avoiding it with ease. The entire process was effortless and smooth. Sasuke was taken aback when he saw his punch easily dodged by Makoto. But he didn't think too much about it. He quickly turned around and tried to hit Makoto in the stomach with his elbow. Seeing this, Makoto quickly turned and effortlessly dodged Sasuke's attack for a second time. Senju Tobirama. Hey, don't just keep dodging. Fight back. Something like slapping and punching him in the face. Make sure his face is swollen and knock out all his teeth. Makoto Ito. Why do you seem more impatient than me when I'm the one fighting? Sasuke attempted a sidekick toward Makoto, and his kick was easily intercepted. This time, Makoto didn't even dodge his kick. Instead, he grabbed Sasuke's ankle and yanked him off balance. Sasuke struggled to maintain his balance but could no longer manage it due to Makoto's overwhelming strength. At this moment, Sasuke lost control and fell directly toward Makoto. Makoto quickly clenched his fist and punched Sasuke square in the face. Plus ultra. He put some real force behind the punch. The moment he landed it, half of Sasuke's face immediately turned red and swollen. The other students watching the battle were all shocked. Especially Sasuke's little fans, who couldn't believe their eyes. Oh my god, how can this be? No one could believe that Sasuke was the first to get hit. Even Iruka couldn't react at first. He had expected Sasuke to easily defeat Makoto. But Makoto had actually punched him. Uchiha Fugaku. Damn it. Makoto, you are being harsh. Uchiha Makoto. Oh my god. Look at Sasuke's face, it's all swollen. Why didn't you go easy on him like you did with Naruto? Senju Tobirama. Fantastic. Magnificent. That's how you do it. It feels so satisfying and I'm loving every moment of this. Let's see if he dares to act so smug again. Sasuke was stunned by the punch from Makoto. He had never imagined that he would be struck by someone he deemed a loser. He simply couldn't accept this reality. Originally, Sasuke thought he could deal with Makoto easily, but instead, he was outplayed. Search the Novelfire.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. And now, he was punched squarely in the face. And the worst part was his own face. How could he let someone hit him in the face like that? His face was all swollen. Before Sasuke could recover from the attack, Makoto delivered another kick and this time directly to his stomach. Sasuke's body contorted as he was kicked into a bow shape, flying through the air for several meters. Senju Tobirama. Ha ha ha. Now this is what I call peak cinema. Uchiha Fugaku. Second Hokage, are you crazy? Why are you so happy to see my son getting beaten? Uchiha Madara. He's never been a good person to begin with. Uchiha Fugaku. I think so too. Uchiha Madara. Shut up. Look at the genius son you gave birth to. He is getting beaten to a pulp. What an embarrassment to our Uchiha clan. Sasuke, who was sent flying, flipped over and sat up, shaking his head vigorously. The force of the attacks had clearly disoriented him. Search the Novelfire.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. He couldn't believe what was happening at this moment. Makoto was just a loser. How can he be so strong? How am I not able to fight back and land a single attack? Just as he was lost in his thoughts, a voice broke through his confusion. Sasuke, are you okay? It was Haruno Sakura, rushing over from the crowd. She quickly grabbed Sasuke's arm, her concern written all over her face. Sasuke, how are you? Sasuke's other little fans stood nearby, secretly frustrated that Sakura had reached him first. They muttered amongst themselves, irritated that she was the one to get involved. Only after seeing all of them Sasuke truly understood the weight of the situation. He had been beaten by Makoto in front of his classmates. Brushing past Sakura without looking at her, he coldly replied, "I'm fine." But Sakura wasn't ready to let go, still chattering on. "But Sasuke, look at your face. It's swollen and there's a footprint on your belly. That damned Makoto. His attacks are so brutal. Are you really okay, Sasuke?" Sasuke was already frustrated by the situation. He couldn't stand Sakura's noisy complaints. More importantly, he didn't need anyone to recount everything he just endured. His temper flared, and he pushed Sakura aside. "Get out of my way." Makoto was watching this scene with a smiling face. He had long since gotten used to Sakura's tendency to intervene, knowing full well that she would make a scene no matter what. "Senju Tobirama, what's this? He's not even good at fighting, but he's so harsh toward girls. Uchiha Madara, this is such an embarrassment to our Uchiha clan, but that little girl is goddamn annoying. Always chirping, but I didn't notice how much of a problem she was before. Does she have no brains? Doesn't she know there is a fight going on?" Sasuke was now seething with anger, resumed his stance and glared at Makoto. "Very well, Makoto. You've managed to piss me off. I'll make you pay for this." Makoto listened to Sasuke's words with a smiling face as if he was looking at an idiot. He casually extended his index finger, motioning for Sasuke to come forward once again. Sasuke immediately charged at Makoto again. This time, his speed was faster than before, and as they collided once more, Sasuke's attacks were more frantic and aggressive than ever. Yet, no matter what Sasuke did, Makoto dodged or countered effortlessly. It felt as though Sasuke wasn't even allowed to land a blow. After several more exchanges, Sasuke found even more shoe prints on his body. A storm raged in Sasuke's mind. How is this possible? How could I not be able to defeat Makoto? He was just a loser and I am from the mighty Uchiha clan and the top student of the class. How could I be completely outclassed by someone like him? It wasn't just Sasuke who was shocked. The other students watching the battle, as well as Iruka, couldn't believe what they were seeing. When did Makoto become this strong? He was previously competing for the last place. But how was Sasuke so helpless against him now? It didn't make sense. Senju Tobirama. Come on, Makoto. What are you doing? I almost fell asleep watching. Can we get something exciting? Give me a few solid punches. Makoto Ito, I think you're right. I really should hit him harder. Uchiha Fugaku. Makoto, how dare you? Bastard. The group leader Makoto Ito has closed the vision sharing of group member Uchiha Fugaku. Ito Makoto. Oops. I misclicked it. I wanted to ban him. In an instant, Fugaku could no longer see any of the outside events. Damn it all. This is too much. While Fugaku was screaming in anger, Makoto continued to attack and launched a barrage of attacks on Sasuke, landing a left punch and a right kick with precision. Senju Tobirama. Now that's how you should do it. I still feel like you are missing something. Huh. That's right, kick him in the balls and put an end to the cursed bloodline. Makoto kicked dangerously close to Sasuke's most vulnerable spot. Uchiha Makoto. No. Meanwhile, Fugaku could only guess based on the other's messages. Especially when he saw Tobirama suggest hitting Sasuke in the balls, he began to panic. This was the worst possible situation. Uchiha Fugaku. No, stop. Makoto, I was wrong. Don't go that far. Makoto Ito, thank you for the reminder. Like you said, I was missing the mark just now. Now, I will hit straight on the balls. Uchiha Fugaku. Makoto, I apologize. I will never scold you again. Makoto Ito, but it is too late for that. At this point, Fugaku's mind was spiraling as he desperately thought about how he could convince Makoto to show mercy to his son. His panic reached the extreme as he remembered Makoto's profiteer-like grin. For more thrilling fanfiction stories like this, check out my channel Fanfic audiobook. Dive into epic adventures, mysterious realms, and legendary journeys brought to life through immersive storytelling. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing audiobooks.